What's up, guys? Welcome to Mochi's Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. Today will be a Final Fantasy XIV video on the monk's perspective on Midas Savage Floor 1. Now, to start this fight, I normally use shoulder tackle. Only reason being is I know that it will be up by the time the first prey mechanic will appear. Also, a quick note is if you actually pull a second before the tank does, you can do your opener fluidly. What I mean by this is you don't have to press the tab again to retarget the boss, which can be very annoying. Now, the main mechanic we need to keep an eye on next is the prey mechanic. If you are targeted by the prey, make sure you refresh your grease lightning prior to moving to the safe spot. Also, make sure you charge up that chakra whilst moving to the safe spot. If you don't have the prey mechanic, you can continue to DPS as usual. I usually like to leave fracture before the boss actually moves to the prey person if possible, but if not, then just use shoulder tackle to the boss afterwards. Now, the next set of mechanics might require to move out of the boss due to the poison puddle. I usually like to drop it just where the red puddle usually appears. This makes the travel time to the boss quite minimal. Then you can either use shoulder tackle, if you have it, back to the boss, or just walk back since it's not that far away. Also, good to note, if you are doing the mechanic, you can charge up your chakra. If not, continue to DPS as usual. The next phase is the add phase, which you are currently seeing. If you have been using all your off GCD skills such as Elixir Field and Howling Fist, they should be up by now and you can use both of them to hit the boss and the snakes. If they die too quickly prior for you using them, just use them anyway. I also like to leave shoulder tackle just in case you're in stun duty for the snakes. If not, then just use it as a DPS tool. The next phase will require some movement, sometimes depending on the bomb placement. If you are going to move, there are two ways to go about it. The safe way is to go straight to the safe spot and charge your chakra whilst you're moving. The other is to stick to the boss and continue to DPS until you arrive to the safe spot. Then the next mechanic will be Bruce. And I usually like to leave my dots up if I have the time to put it up and use Tornado Kick afterwards. And then you do the bomb mechanic. The next mechanic is going to be Pray again. Again, if you are not prayed, continue to DPS as usual and make sure you have shoulder tackle up because he will use gob hook. Now, if you are prayed, just charge up your chakra and wait for the mechanic to finish and make sure you dodge that gob hook. Continue to DPS as usual until the next mechanic. Now, the next phase will be the Chimera phase. If you have a tether, make sure you step on that blue puddle and to continue to DPS. You can use Rock Breaker here to damage both the Chimera and the boss if your tanks align them closely. If not, then just DPS as usual. Use your Elixir Field as well. Also, there will be a Poison Puddle in this phase, which you can drop in the blue puddle to minimize the travel time. And then the next phase will happen, the bomb phase again. There is a huge possibility that have movement in this phase. What I like to do is I usually like to refresh my grease lightning and wait for the spike bombs to blow up, then go to the safe spot. If you time this right, you won't lose grease lightning. Form shift and charge your chakra if you're waiting for the boss to arrive at the new safe spot. If not, just DPS as usual. After that phase, this will be a pretty much a DPS free phase. So make sure you pop all your cooldowns, do your combos or whatever you need to do to increase that DPS. Once he grows big again, you will have to do the boost mechanic again. Make sure you put your dots up and use your tornado kick prior to turning into a bird again, and then do the bomb mechanic. Once that mechanic is finished, the next mechanic will be double prey. I usually like to form shift back to my curl form here and use my perfect balance if ever. Again, if you are doing the first prey, use form shift to do your curl form and charge up your chakra while waiting. Once he hits you, you need to hit him with your demolish or your snap punch to refresh your grease lightning. And if you're doing the second prey, continue to DPS until he moves out and then charge your chakra while you wait. In this video, I actually forgot to use my perfect balance, which means I need to get good and use that perfect balance there. The next couple of mechanics doesn't require much of us as a DPS, so continue to DPS as usual until the zoo phase. The zoo phase starts as soon as the boss shrinks. Continue to DPS and wait for the white mage to pull the pigs to the tank. Also, a few seconds later, two goblins will spawn and use Ugo, which can petrify you. Make sure you are facing the wall and continue to charge your chakra while this is happening. Once it's safe, you can go back and continue to DPS the boss until the second set of pigs arrive. You can use your AoE skills here in this phase, but I would avoid getting too carried away as you might not have enough TP later in the fight. If you have a ninja in your team, you can probably go crazy with the AoE since they can give you gold. After this phase, you need to refresh your debuffs, which I normally go to the blue puddle, then continue to DPS until the next phase. The next phase is where the white ad spawns, and this needs to go down quickly, so use whatever you have left in this phase. If you did not use your chakra you charge up during the Oogle mechanic, you can use it here and now, and then continue to DPS the boss until he is dead. Make sure you use your tornado kick in the end. And that's it, guys, for Monk's perspective on Midas Savage Floor 1. I hope you find this very helpful. I'm sorry it took so long to post this video since I lost my last static. My current static is fairly new to the Midas Savage raid content, and this is actually our first down as a group on Midas Savage Floor 1, and it only took us about a week to get here with 3 days with 2 to 3 hours worth of raiding each day. But expect us to try and down Midas Savage Floor 2 as soon as we can. Remember to click like, subscribe, and share this video if you find it helpful at all. Leave a comment below if you have any more tips for me and the rest of the monk community to increase our DPS in this floor. And have a good game, have fun, and good luck, guys.